Hi everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something very important and very practical for everyday life, and that topic is building good habits. I think habits really shape our lives, even more than motivation, because motivation comes and goes, but habits stay with us.
Yes, I totally agree, Jenny. Habits are like small actions that we repeat every day, sometimes without thinking about them. And over time, these small actions create big results. Many people think that success comes from big changes, but in reality, it often comes from very small habits done consistently.
That's true. And I think many people feel frustrated because they want to change their life quickly. They want fast results, fast success, and fast progress. But good habits usually work slowly, and that's why many people give up too early.
Exactly. People often start with a lot of energy. For example, they decide to wake up very early, exercise every day, eat perfectly, and be productive all the time. But after a few days, they feel tired, stressed, and disappointed, and then they stop everything.
Yes, and that's why today we want to talk about building habits in a simple and realistic way. Not in a perfect way, but in a human way. Because we are not robots, and we cannot be perfect every day.
That's a very important point. So maybe we can start with a simple question. Jenny, what does a good habit mean to you personally?
For me, a good habit is something small that improves my life little by little, without creating pressure or stress. It can be something very simple, like drinking a glass of water in the morning, or taking 5 minutes to plan my day, or even just going to bed a little earlier.
I like that definition because many people think that habits must be very big or very difficult. But actually, the best habits are often the easiest ones because they are easier to repeat every day.
Exactly. And another important thing is that good habits should fit your lifestyle. For example, if someone works late at night, waking up at 5 in the morning may not be a good habit for them. It may look good on social media, but in real life, it can be very hard.
Yes, and this is something people forget. They try to copy habits from other people instead of listening to their own body and their own daily routine. But habits should work for you, not against you.
So true. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to change everything at the same time. They want to change their sleep, their food, their work, their exercise, and their mindset all in one week.
Yes, and that usually leads to burnout. When you try to do too much, you end up doing nothing. That's why starting small is very important when building good habits.
Starting small really changes everything. When a habit is small, it feels easy. And when something feels easy, we are more likely to do it again tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow.
Exactly. And repetition is the key. A habit is not about doing something once. It's about doing the same thing again and again, even on days when you don't feel motivated.
That's such an important point. Motivation is nice, but it's not reliable. Some days you feel motivated, and some days you don't. But habits help you move forward even when motivation is low.
Yes, and this is where discipline comes in. But discipline doesn't have to be harsh or strict. It can be gentle. It can simply mean showing up and doing a small action, even if it's not perfect.
I really like that idea of gentle discipline. Many people think discipline means forcing yourself, but it can also mean being kind to yourself while still taking action.
Absolutely. And maybe we can talk next about how habits start in daily life, like morning habits or small routines during the day.
Yes, that's a great idea. Morning habits, daily routines, and how to keep habits simple. We will talk about that in the next part. So, let's continue our conversation and talk about daily routines, especially morning habits, because the way we start our day often influences how the rest of the day feels.
Yes, mornings are very important, but I also want to say something first. Not everyone needs a perfect or long morning routine. Some people think they need 1 hour in the morning to meditate, exercise, read, and write, but that is not realistic for everyone.
That's true. A good morning routine does not have to be complicated. It can be very short and very simple. What matters is not the number of activities, but the intention behind them.
Exactly. For example, a simple morning habit can be waking up and not touching your phone for the first 10 minutes. That small habit can already change your mood and your focus.
Yes, because when we check our phone immediately, our brain becomes busy and stressed very quickly. Messages, social media, and news can wait a little bit. Giving yourself a calm start helps you feel more in control.
Another simple habit is making your bed. It sounds very small and maybe even silly, but it creates a feeling of order and completion. You start the day with a small success.
I agree. Small wins are very powerful. When you complete one small habit, you feel more confident, and that confidence helps you do the next task.
And this idea does not only apply to mornings. During the day, we can also build small habits that make life easier. For example, planning your day in a very simple way.
Yes, planning does not mean writing a long to-do list. It can simply mean choosing one or two important things you want to do today. This reduces pressure and helps you stay focused.
Exactly. When we have too many tasks, we feel overwhelmed, and then we procrastinate. But when the list is short, it feels manageable.
Another daily habit I really like is taking short breaks. Many people work or study for many hours without stopping, and they feel tired and exhausted at the end of the day.
Yes, and short breaks are not a waste of time. They help your brain rest and reset. Even a 5-minute break can improve your concentration.
That's true. And during those breaks, it's better to move a little, drink water, or look outside, instead of scrolling on your phone.
Definitely. Scrolling often makes us more tired, not more relaxed. So choosing how we rest is also an important habit.
I also want to talk about habits in the evening, because the way we end the day affects our sleep and our energy for the next day.
Yes, evening habits are often ignored, but they are very important. For example, going to bed at a similar time every day helps your body create a natural rhythm.
And before sleeping, it's helpful to slow down. Turning off bright screens, lowering the lights, and doing something calm like reading or listening to soft music can really improve sleep quality.
Another good evening habit is reflecting on the day. You can think about one good thing that happened, even if the day was difficult.
I love that habit. It helps shift your focus from problems to progress. Even small progress matters.
Yes, and this reflection does not need to be long. Just 1 or 2 minutes is enough. Again, small habits are easier to keep.
So overall, daily routines are not about controlling every minute of your life. They are about creating simple structures that support you.
Exactly. Habits should help you feel calmer, more focused, and more balanced, not stressed or trapped.
In the next part, we can talk about long-term habits, common mistakes, and how to stay consistent when life gets busy or difficult.
Yes, that will be very helpful because many people start well but stop after a few weeks. Let's talk about how to avoid that.
So now, let's talk about long-term habits, because starting a habit is one thing, but keeping it for weeks, months, or even years is the real challenge for most people.
Yes, many people feel excited at the beginning, but after some time, life gets busy, problems appear, motivation goes down, and the habit slowly disappears.
That's very normal, and I think it's important to say this clearly. Failing sometimes does not mean you are bad at habits. It simply means you are human.
Exactly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that missing one day means failure. They miss one day, feel guilty, and then stop completely.
Yes, and this all or nothing mindset is very dangerous. Habits are not about perfection. They are about consistency over time, even with breaks and mistakes.
A very helpful idea is to focus on getting back to the habit instead of blaming yourself. If you stop for one day or even one week, the most important thing is to restart.
I really like that. Restarting is a habit too. And every time you restart, you become stronger and more aware of what works for you.
Another common mistake is setting goals that are too big or too vague. For example, saying, "I want to be healthier" is nice, but it's not very clear.
Yes, it's better to connect habits to simple actions, like walking for 10 minutes, drinking more water, or preparing one healthy meal.
Also, habits work better when they are connected to your identity. Instead of saying, I want to exercise, you can think, I am someone who takes care of my body.
That's a powerful shift. When a habit becomes part of who you are, it feels more natural and less forced.
Another important thing is environment. Your environment can support your habits or destroy them. For example, if healthy food is visible and easy to reach, you are more likely to eat it.
And if your phone is always next to you, it becomes harder to focus. So sometimes, changing your environment is easier than changing your willpower.
Yes, willpower is limited, but environment works silently in the background. Small changes, like placing a book on your desk or leaving your workout clothes ready, can make a big difference.
I also think it's important to be patient. Good habits often do not show results immediately, and this can be frustrating.
Absolutely. Many habits are like planting seeds. You water them every day, but you don't see anything at first. Then one day, you suddenly notice growth.
And that's why trusting the process is important. Even when you don't see progress, something is changing inside you.
Yes, and comparing yourself to others can be very discouraging. Everyone has a different pace, a different life, and different challenges.
So true. Your journey is your own, and small steps in the right direction are always better than no steps at all.
Before we finish, I want to share one simple piece of advice. Choose habits that make your life better, not habits that make you feel guilty.
I love that advice. Habits should support you, not punish you. And it's okay to change a habit if it no longer fits your life.
Yes, flexibility is very important. Life changes, and your habits can change too.
So to everyone listening, remember that building good habits is a long journey, not a short race. Be kind to yourself, start small, and keep going.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope this conversation helped you think differently about habits in daily life.
And if you are learning English, we hope this podcast helped you practice listening and understand natural conversations more easily.
See you next time.
Bye everyone.